Okay.
Hi there, ladies. Welcome. I'm Jaki Sabourin, the founder of Engaged at Any Age, a company that helps women create conscious relationships. And I'm sitting here with Dr. Angela Zekman. She's a physician and she's a weight loss specialist. And so
Yes.
we wanted to talk to you about, actually, we decided to record the conversation because we're talking about women and how their weight gain affects their love life and how it really impacts their confidence. And I'm like, we should just turn the recording on so that we can share this with the other women that are struggling in these areas or have struggled in them. So Angela, thank you for being willing to be a part of the conversation here.
Well, thank
And
you
the
so much for
solution.
having me. I'm so excited to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that this comes up a lot, especially last year when we saw a lot of women, or all of us were in isolation, and now kind of
Yeah,
trying to bounce back from that. And but more importantly, even before that, I can see how weight gain and just struggling around weight or emotional eating really impacts women when it comes to dating and their relationships. I'm married, and it impacts me. So in all areas of our lives, it really impacts our confidence overall. And so I just thought
sure
we'd
does. Yeah.
illuminate the conversation a little bit more and tell me what you're seeing and all of
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I see patients in the office. I see patients both in the office and I have clients online, and so many people have so much pain and shame around their weight. They think that they've got some sort of character flaw going on. Like they think that they have a willpower defect or something. And one of the and that causes them to feel ashamed and inappropriate for some reason. And then when they get out in the dating world or in their relationships, they just don't feel confident and alive and vibrant. And one of the things that I always really try to teach women is, this is not a character flaw. What we're discovering about this problem is that it's a disease. And so one of the things that I do is I really help educate women that they're dealing with a disease. And one of the manifestations is weight gain, but there's all kinds of other physical manifestations. And then there's psychological manifestations. And it's just way more complex than just going on a diet. Like how many people have been on a diet
Yeah.
and they lose weight for a little while and then, all the weight comes back, usually plus more. So that's one of the real things that I want everyone to understand is that this is not a character flaw, far from it. We're kind of fighting against our own brain and the cravings and everything. So it's a difficult situation.
It
So
sure is. And there's such a big emotional impact on women because it really does affect our self-esteem because we
us.
are so quick. We have that inner critic, and it's so easy to fall prey to the negative self-talk that can really make us, so debilitating. It's like you don't feel that you can go out. You don't feel that you can get on a video and meet a man. You don't feel that you can undress in front of your husband or your boyfriend or your lover when you're not feeling good, not feeling confident because of your weight. And that's just such a shame to me. So part of it I know is physical, but the other part is emotional. And the one piece that I think it's just so important that when it comes to weight gain and weight loss is that we need to accept ourselves wherever we're at. We have to accept our body and love ourselves and love our body because that's how we get around the world. Our body comes in very handy, and we have to start to become more self-aware of the negative self-talk because it does create emotions that create behaviors that really sabotage us. So it starts with the thoughts, negative self-talk, and then it creates a feeling and then emotions, and the emotions drive the behavior, which calls you to cancel your plans or not play bigger in the world, not go for the really cute guy that just waved at you or said hi. It just stops you in your tracks. So I think for me, what advice I'd like to share with the women is just becoming more aware of that critic and just shooing those thoughts off like a fly. I know it's hard to do, but at the end of the day, you have to show up and be your own very best friend. And your best friend would say you looked great and to love and accept yourself, right? So we have to show up more as our own best friends, at least to start with. That's just a simple thing I want to recommend right now. And do you want to share just whatever's coming up for you and how you could help the women with just a little nugget?
Yeah. I actually have something that happened to me over the weekend. And for those of you who don't know, like one of the ways I know Jackie is because she was my dating coach. And she's really, really taught me about the importance of the way I talk to myself in my own head and how important that is. And so, and I use these skills in my online coaching program, in my weight loss coaching program. And so, what happened to me? Just a really quick story. So I'm dating a man now, and actually he's moved in with me, and he is Icelandic, and he made a marzipan cake for his mother's birthday party. And he offered me a taste of it. And I'm like, sure, like I'm all about family traditions and, sure, I'll have a taste of it. Well, what I didn't know, and one of the things that I try to help people understand is that sugar is actually a really powerful drug. It's as powerful as cocaine for some people. And I have always been sensitive to sugar, but I kind of feel like there's certain types of sugar that I'm okay with. Well, it turned out this marzipan triggered a monster in my brain. And I was transported back to high school when I was working for a Chinese restaurant, and I was a waitress, and they had these almond cookies, and they were orange, and they were so good, and I never could stop eating them. And all of a sudden I realized, like, my brain just wants marzipan, marzipan, marzipan. And so I had to have a little chat with myself, because I'm like, I want to go to this party, but I can't have the marzipan cake. Right? Because this is what it's doing to my brain. It was an insatiable monster in my head. And I knew that if I ate any more of it, I wasn't going to be able to stop. And so I had to really learn how to stand up for myself and love myself and say, you know what? I love this family tradition, but I cannot indulge in the marzipan cake. And the interesting thing is that my ego mind, you taught me all about my ego mind. My ego mind is like, well, that would be a bad thing to do, like you're going to hurt their feelings. And I just really,
others before you.
I had to use so many skills. And I went to the party. I didn't have any of the marzipan cake, and it turned out great. But it's like all of these skills that I teach for the weight loss journey and that you teach in the dating journey, they're all about learning how to respect yourself and know yourself and love yourself. And that's what's really, really, really important here. And I just want our women to know, like, it all is possible.
It is possible. And I just think that's such a beautiful, transparent, authentic story. Thank you. And it sounds so simple, but I know if you're watching this, it's not, it sounds easy, but it's not simple. And the one thing is that you have to remain in your personal power. When we slip out of our personal power and we become unconscious, that's when we do the emotional eating, or we have that our ego mind beating up on us. So our personal power is where we stay anchored to our intuition, our feminine energy, the goddess energy, whatever you want to call that. And when we slip out of it, that's when we get into our head and we start going into the think mode, and then the emotions follow, and then the behavior, the unconscious behavior, which is the overeating or the self-sabotage, or however that shows up. And so, it does start with remaining in your personal power. And so I just hope this inspired all of you. You have the ability, all of you watching, to learn these skills. They're skills that you can learn, and you can go through Angela's program and learn those skills in her weight loss, or you can work on the emotional aspect and work with me in my programs, my groups and courses. And of course, if you're here watching YouTube, you can continue to follow me. And there'll be a little comment at the end of this to tell you how you can get in touch with me about my programs. And Angela, tell us a little bit about your weight loss program.
Yeah, I have an online course called Journey Beyond Weight Loss. And so for those who want to get started right away, they can just go to journeybeyondweightloss.com, and there's a free course you can download. And I'll teach you all about what the disease of obesity is, and all of the emotional components, and just sort of get you introduced. I also have a podcast called Keep the Weight Off. You can find me there. And I have a Facebook group called Sugar and Flour Busters Society. So there's lots of ways to kind of get in touch and follow along. And, if you really want the support that you need to lose weight and keep it off for good, that's what I would recommend. So, yeah.
And I just love this collaboration, Dr. Angela, between you and I and all women. We all need to collaborate, not compete. And when we
Exactly.
do that, we can do great things in the world. So you want to be more empowered in your relationships, you get in touch with Jaki. And if you want to really to commit to a successful weight loss path this year, then you get a hold of Dr. Angela. And thank you so much for being here and watching our
Yes.
video. We'd love
Thanks
to
for
hear some
joining us.
comments. What's that?
I was just going to say thanks to everyone for joining us and for listening in. And thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to know you, Dr. Angela. You are just so amazing, and everything you're doing is so wonderful. And I'm just so grateful for all the good that you're doing in the world.
Well, and likewise, Jaki,
Yeah.
yes, you are really helping so many women have fulfilling relationships, yours truly included. So yeah.
Feels good. All right, ladies, we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.